name is Sherry Howe, and I'm a volunteer with Trees Matter. I have volunteered with Trees Matter for just about 2 years now, and I believe I've helped with 5 to 6 events.
Hi, my name is Samantha Rosales. I am a former intern at Trees Matter, and I have been involved with the organization for a year now.
Well, hi, my name is Petrit, and I'm a volunteer with Trees Matter. I've volunteered with Trees Matter for 3 years now, and I've been a part of about 60 or so events.
Hi, my name is Taylor, and I'm a former intern at Trees Matter. I've been involved with the organization for 4 years.
Hi, my name is Deb Coy, and I'm a volunteer with Trees Matter. I have volunteered with Trees Matters for 8 years, and I've been a part of about 4 to 5 events a year.
My name is Craig Tolliver. I'm a volunteer with Trees Matter. Volunteered with Trees Matter for 4 years.
It means, I guess, an opportunity to work with some really enthusiastic folks to try and improve the life we have here in this valley. For me, it just means it's an avenue for me to be able to contribute to my community.
Trees Matter is an organization that spreads awareness about increasing tree canopy across the valley. To me, that means increasing the education for people to know more about how it can actually benefit the community and themselves, and how they can get more involved with being part of this cause.
It's like a place to grow, no pun intended. It's a place to learn more about environmental issues. It's a place to actively do work on behalf of those issues. And I think this program specifically has been doing great work in the community, because every event I've ever been a part of, everybody has a smile on their face.
Trees Matter means community to me. They've got like a really great community here, a good support system. The staff is amazing, and it's just a bunch of people coming together to make a difference in our community.
It means health, it means vigor, it means regeneration to me. It's such a worthwhile program and with such a great impact with really so little effort.
I get a lot of gratification from working with a lot of different folks and distributing trees. That's my favorite thing. Seeing folks who maybe aren't at all familiar with the trees, or this is all a new thing for them, and they're excited to try and help get trees in the community.
As I started with this organization, it inspired me to just learn how to be able to spread this awareness and education to other people properly, and how to get people to volunteer their time and effort towards this cause that we have. It inspires me when people get excited and want to be more engaged with the organization.
I really love doing this work. I get to work with people from all over the valley. I get to see more of the city, and I get to be a part of something bigger that is actively affecting our community. It's inspiring to me to see how people are involved and excited to get their trees and excited to plant them, excited to ask tons of questions, and there's always a great dialogue at all these events.
The mission and the people. I really appreciate the mission of trying to make a more sustainable environment, and just the staff at Trees Matter, Ariel, everyone, they're great.
The fact that there is such a need, and you guys have found that place to get in and work with people and to get a lot of it done. And that's really inspires me to keep going and volunteering, because of the fact that I think truly you're making a difference.
Inspires me? Well, it's an opportunity to plant trees. I didn't realize it was something I kind of grew into. I didn't realize it at first. I was just doing a lot of stuff at home. And then somebody made a comment about how big everything was getting.
The tree distribution events, I enjoy those a lot. As I said, you get to see folks that are really excited about getting their trees.
My favorite event is definitely the Shade Tree event, just because there are so many people who actually come out, more than I would have expected when I first started. And more importantly, because people really get excited about being part of the workshop and then being able to come out and actually get to take something home with them. And I love seeing that people get excited about something like that.
I enjoy all kinds of volunteer work that I do with Trees Matter, but specifically shade tree events, that's kind of where most of my experience is in. I feel like everybody's working together to really contribute to those events, and that's why I enjoy them the most, because it's a collective effort, but it's also, again, accomplishing something so meaningful. We distribute over, on occasion, 1,500 trees. In addition to that, the cohort planting is always fun, going to schools and kind of teaching the little kids how to do it, and how eager they are to learn about how to plant trees, and how creative they are at naming the trees. So there was a birch tree that we were planting, and one of the kids, they were so smart, they were like, I want to name it Ashley, because it's an ash tree, right? And I was like, that's great. And then all the other kids wanted to name it Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, yeah, Groot. So it was Ashley Groot. That was the first last name.
I like the shade tree events the most. I think it's really, really awesome to see these people like from all over the valley too coming together, and they're all just so excited to get their trees and to learn about how to take care of them. Yeah, it's just I love helping out with those events.
I do like the shade tree events, mostly because people are walking in with absolutely no concept of what's going on. They go in and a lot of them have a preconceived notion that they know how to plant a tree, that they know how to take care of some. And I have had people walk in and say they've got nothing but a brown thumb. But I said, this is a great class you will take. You're gonna get 2 beautiful trees that are gonna be they're not only drought tolerant, they're also inexperienced tolerant with people that are going to plant them. I also like just the camaraderie with everybody hustling around, getting things where they need to be, the trees. Anything goes wrong, you're right on it to get it fixed. So everybody pitches in and it all gets done.
I guess going out and planting trees, and I think that's a lot of fun.
I've lived in Phoenix since '75. My mom lived here 10, 15 years before that. So I have kind of some deep connections here. It's my community, I care about it. I want the livability here to be something that we encourage. So trees are great. I have trees in my yard. They provide shelter and homes for hundreds of birds, right? And so I can't even imagine living here in this valley without trees. And the more trees we have, obviously, it's good for the environment on many levels. Just good for our emotional health. There's not a negative I'm aware of. My personal connection is that I just want to see this community continue to be livable, frankly. And trees are, I think, a huge part of that.
Definitely the education portion. I feel that people don't really realize how much of a difference having more shade can actually impact our communities until you actually see like the statistics of how much it will, even just within your own home, it makes a difference, but just in general for our communities and it being such an important part in like schools and that being a factor in like what Trees Matter does.
My personal connection to the mission statement really has to do with the fact that I've really been enlightened on environmental issues, and obviously we live in a very hot city. Water is an essential thing, but in addition to that, shade is an essential thing. I mean, it can be up to 20 degrees cooler under the shade of a tree. If you think about it in a collective sense, if you think about that to scale, that's an enormous amount of heat that we can take off of our street, off of our homes and communities, and reduce the costs that are required to cool a home or to cool, whatever sort of situation you want to think of. The amount of energy that's expended to just cool homes is enormous. So I think this is a pathway to mitigate that.
I think it's really cool that Trees Matter gets so many different people involved in, making a difference. Like we're all working together and doing our parts to help with, global warming and being more sustainable.
It was finding a program where I could find my niche that I could get into, that I could have interaction with people, both where I could not only teach, but camaraderie, that kind of thing, and stay involved in a program that was going to make a difference. And I found the Shade Tree program on a recommendation of someone else that had have been on the program through the Master Gardeners, and I loved it. And I've been here ever since.
I like the fact that if you go to my house and go in the backyard, it's 20 degrees cooler in the summer.
Obviously, it provides shade. They provide shade, rather, in a desert community. Very important. Carbon sequestration, erosion prevention. As I said, homes for shelter for birds, for various animals.
So definitely with the increase in shade, it would decrease the amount of heat trap that you get from having like such an intensely compacted city, especially within like schools that have like fields where children play every single day, and there is no shade for them to just take a break in. With the amount of heat increase that we've been getting, I think that's a huge factor.
The amount of energy that it takes to cool a home in the middle of the summer compared to, say, another city that has cooler summers is enormous. You cannot live with something as important as AC here. I think of it in terms of like how we try to mitigate energy consumption and how we're trying to be sustainable for the future. So.
Well, like mitigating the effects of global warming. Yeah, helping and cool down our city, and it looks better to have more green around. I like that. It feels cooler. It feels cleaner, I think, also. There's like more trees and plants around. And there's just concrete everywhere.
Well, it's not only going to drop our temperatures, which we desperately need here. I mean, we basically live in the desert and it's hot as it is, but we've got the asphalt everywhere, so the jungle asphalt. Our technology is taking us to heights in great ways, but it's also detrimental because everything is becoming combined into the city environment, and we are basically killing our cities as far as I'm concerned. And those trees make a big difference. But then as they get here, they also spread out to the suburbs, and there are people there that realize that they do make a difference. I mean, to walk out of a city building and to catch a breeze or to stand under a shade tree for just a little bit of respite from the heat, it's well worth it. And it's an environmental change in a very subtle way, and I hope that it continues as it's doing.
Well, it'll be cooler. It'll come back. There's something about people when they get around trees, like out in the forest or something, walking around. There's something. When I was a kid, I remember going out in the forest behind the house. It was always someplace. It was one of the first places that you would gravitate to go to, away from home. So I remember that. And I remember if it was greener around here, more people would come around.
Our mission
Our mission
Our mission is to inspire
and promote and
increase tree canopy in the